What is up, my friends and fellow collectors out there? It is Mandalorian week, and in honor of that, I'm unboxing this exclusive edition of the Armorer from the Mandalorian. It's time for a nerdgasm. Welcome back, my friends, to Mandalorian week at MCE. As you can tell, I'm super pumped because I love this show. This is my show. I can't wait for this thing to come back this Friday, and I am hyped. So if this is your first time on the channel, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can stay up to date on all of our content. So yeah, baby, the Mandalorian Armorer is in the house. This is the exclusive edition that you would have been able to get at Hasbro Pulse during the convention. Actually, just shortly after the convention, they dropped this. There's two ways that you can actually get this version, or not this version, but this figure. So there's the exclusive edition right here that you would have been able to get again at Hasbro Pulse. And there's also the regular version, which you can get at Hasbro Pulse, but it's also available at all of the retailers, including Big Bad Toy Store. I'll leave a link in the description below for you guys to get to it. So yeah, this version of the character dropped like out of nowhere. I mean, I knew it was coming, but I didn't expect it to drop the way it did. It kind of just appeared on Hasbro Pulse. There was no announcement that it was going to be released on a certain day. And then I remember my friend just shot me a text message, and he was like, "George, it's there. Go get it, get it, get it." And I was only able to grab this one. You know, I like this style of box. I think it's really cool. I love these exclusive boxes. I think they're really dope. I have the Cad Bane version, which has the same style box. The only thing about these style boxes is that they come with the accessories and the figure itself strapped in, and I'll show you guys that when we get into a close-up. So it makes it very difficult to unbox, and then you know, if you want to keep the box for later, or if you want to take and transport it, maybe not lose all the pieces, you know, that would be a little bit more difficult. From what I'm seeing here, though, I do like that they included a plastic container for all of the accessories. They didn't do that with Cad Bane, so I think that's an improvement. But with all that, let's get some close-ups of the box, and then we'll get the figure out and see what we can do. So here we go. Here's a close-up of the box. As you can see, it's just similar to like what we had with the Cad Bane. You have the Black Series front here on black. On the side, you have the armor and the way that that looks, like the art style right there. She is holding her hammer or anvil, whatever you want to call that, I think a hammer. And then you have the back that just shows the Mandalorian again, black again, and then all black here. Okay, the box looks like it got a little bit beat up in the pack in the drive. All right, so then you have the figure itself. Now you can see that the figure is strapped in here on the arms, on the legs. So it's going to make it kind of difficult. They did put plastic here just around the helmet. I wish they would have done that all the way in. You could just pull the character out. I think that would have been a nicer feature, so you don't have to disassemble this whole box just to get to it. So, but for you guys, I'm going to do it. It's because I want, you know, you guys to see the figure in all its glory. You get all the accessories right here on the side, and that's it basically. So let's get it out of the box and see what the figure looks like. All right, to kick it off, we have a Mandalorian helmet. As you can see, this is very similar to the one that we saw on the Mandalorian himself in the other figure that comes with it. I'll show you that when I bring it back out for the size comparisons. But the difference is this is kind of translucent material, so you can see right through it a little bit. And it's meant to give it that look like she's making the Beskar helmet for him. So really cool. All right, you get this blast thing, you know, and basically this is just to show that she's in the process of constructing the armor, and then you just put this down on something and gives that effect like it's blasting back as she's striking with the hammer. All right, and you get this hammer that looks like it's covered in hot molten metal or whatever they're using to create the armor. And again, it's translucent, so it gives you that effect like it's glowing. So that's really cool. All right, you get a set of tongs. I guess these what these are. Don't know the exact name for this. I'm not a armor smith myself. But yeah, this is what you would use to grab the metal that you're creating out of the forge. So that comes with this as well. All right, you get a smaller set of tongs, not glowing, so it's not looking like it's pulling it directly out of the heat. All right. Finally, you get another hammer that also looks like it's not glowing or covered in any of that lava or hot, you know, material. I don't know what to call it again. But yeah, just like that. All right, and lastly, here's the armorer herself, looking pretty dope. Now, there is a difference between this particular figure and the one that you would get at Big Bad Toy Store or Target. This particular figure right here has this, I guess, mixed media material. This is a soft felt, feels very soft, and has like these hairs that come off of it to give it that look like she has that fur piece of cape, I guess, that she had in the show. The one that you get from Target or Big Bad Toy Store, this will be plastic, and then it keys in the back right over here. You can see that. But on this one, it's a mixed media, which I like a lot. I like this way better than the plastic version. It gives it just that, you know, extra feel. So that's pretty cool. The other thing too is that the helmet that I showed you and these two tools and this blast part, these are also exclusive to this figure. So if you were just getting the regular version at Big Bad Toy Store, it would have the figure and then these two parts. And then again, this would be plastic in the back. So let's see what we can do as far as articulation with this character. All right, so right off the bat, you got the head movement. You can pull the head back that far and go all the way down like that. So a little bit more articulation, I think, in this head than there was in the Mando himself. You can go side to side like that, so you can make it look like she's thinking. You can turn. All right, so that's your head movement. Your arms can go out about that far. Okay, you have some twist action here at the shoulder, looks like. It doesn't appear to be able to twist right where it meets the arm, but it does twist just below this piece of material for the shirt or whatever. So twist down here, and then you have your joint for the elbow. So let's see what we could do with the elbow. That's about as far as I can get with the elbow. Doesn't appear to be a double joint, but it does get pretty close to the chest. Okay. For the wrist action, you can twist, and then it looks like you have up and down movement with the wrist. So you can go up and down like that, but you can't extend and pull back the wrist. Okay. Got her doing like a break dance there. All right, put that back down. Okay, so that's the same on both hands. You have no switch out hands on this either. As for the waist, you can twist the waist just above this belt line here. So you can go like that. You can go like that. You can twist all the way around. So you can do that. You can angle just a bit on the waist. And then as far as forward and back movement, you can pull back about that far. And you can, you can't really go forward too much with the chest. So that's about as far as you can go. You got a little bit of movement, but at least you could twist, so that's cool. All right, the underdressed here, whatever you want to call this, I don't know what this is called. This has some slits in, so you're able to spread the legs out like that, so you can angle out that far. Forward and back motion, so you can go about that far forward with the foot, but then your back motion is limited, doesn't go all the way back. So it just goes barely past the butt there. All right, at the top of the thigh, just like most of the figures, it has a turning point right here, so you could twist the foot around like that, or twist the leg around completely. All right, the knee doesn't have double joints. That's about as far as you can go back with the knee. Okay, and it turns around there at the kneecap, so it turns. There is no turning at the calf. It's just at the knee. Now with the ankles, you can go forward with the ankle like that. You can go back. You got a little bit of side action going on there. So you got a little bit of movement in the ankles. So that is your range of motion. Let's get the Mandalorian figure out here and get this armor into some poses. See what we could do.
Let's get to it. Strike the pose. There's nothing to it.
All right, there she is in the first pose, holding her hammer. Looking, I like the helmet, man. I've always liked the helmet design on this one. Looks really cool. I like with the horns and everything. Has more a gladiator kind of feel, or a Spartan feel. That's probably what I'm looking for. It looks more like a Spartan helm. I always thought that was pretty dope. But that's how she stands next to Din Djarin. Din, Good old Din. Gotta love that name, man. Star Wars names. Sounds like, hey, here's my friend Din. I'm gonna call him Mando. So anyway, Mando stands a little bit taller than her, but not by much. So they do look like they're in scale. Looks pretty dope. So let's see what other poses we can get her into. All right, so I just want to show you guys this before I put her in a different pose. So I'm trying to get her in that pose at, where at the end of the 8th episode where the stormtroopers surround her and she's kind of kneeling on the floor prepared to fight. Very hard to get into this pose because there's no double joints in the knee. So she doesn't sit low enough to create that balance that you want to get or that look. So this is as low as you can get. As you can see, she tips forward because there's no balance to be able to, without spreading her legs like that far, which that looks just completely weird. So yeah, the lack of double joints in the knees does hinder this a little bit. Kind of wish they would have given us the double joints. All right, so I chose to go with the pose at the end after she already beat all of the stormtroopers. Like the look of this, you got the weapons out or the tools out, so it looks cool. She balances pretty well. So, okay, I lied. She doesn't balance that well. All right, and there we go, having her look like she's making the helmet. And then you can see that the splash connects to the hammer itself here, so it gives it that full look like she's building the helmet for the Mandalorian. So dope. All right, and there is another pose similar to the pose that I had at the end there, where she just got finished off with the stormtroopers. I like the figure. So I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are on this one, but I like the figure, I like the sculpt, I like the paint. I think all of that looks really good. I like that they included this material here just to set it off, gives it that fur look on the cape, which separates her from the Mandalorian, who has more of a plastic one. But as far as posability goes, I'm not digging it so much. It's probably I got to see what the heavy Mando's like. I'm still trying to pick that one up. But on this one here, the lack of double joints in the knees, some more play in the waist would have been nice. There's just not a lot of posing you can do with her in comparison to, like, say, Din Djarin over here, where you have a lot of action poses that you can put him in. And maybe it's just the character, we only saw her building things pretty much throughout the whole season. So maybe that's the reason why they did that. But yeah, I would have liked to seen a little bit more articulation for me to be able to pose it. So I like the addition. I think it's cool to have her in the collection, because obviously you need all of the Mandos. But I do wish we would have had a little more articulation in this one. It's the only thing I'll say about it. But as always, I'm interested to hear what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. Are you excited to see The Mandalorian this Friday? And let me know in the comments as well. And until next time, guys, keep it marvelous, and may the Force be with you.